morning, grade 8 learners! Welcome to Health Education. I am your Teacher John Lloyd. Before we go on to our discussion, let's ask first the guidance from Almighty Father.
Let us pray. Our loving and generous God, we praise and thank you for the bountiful blessings you have given us. Thank you for giving us a mind that can know and a heart that can love. Thank you for giving us the chance to continue learning amidst the pandemic that had caused a lot of changes in our lives. We are sorry for the times we have failed you. We humbly ask for your forgiveness. Father, help us stay focused on our studies. When learning becomes difficult, grant us the gifts of courage and enthusiasm. Grant us the grace to use our knowledge in making a difference to the lives of the people around us. All this we pray in your mighty name. Amen.
Good morning, class! Please be seated. Before anything else, allow me to check first your attendance. Okay, say present if your name is called. Florentino Carol Grace.
Present, sir.
Mangiob Al Jane.
Present, sir.
First, a review to test if you are truly learning with our previous discussion. Let's have an activity entitled, Can You Still Remember Me? You will answer the following guide question. Number 1. What is energy?
Energy is a strength and vitality required for sustained physical and mental activity.
Very good! Number 2. What are the importance of energy?
To perform the physical activities.
Excellent! Number 3. What are the types of energy?
Okay, there are two types of energy, the potential and kinetic energy.
Nice answer! I assume that all of you learned about our previous topic. So let's proceed to our new topic. But before that, let's have first an activity entitled Watch Out the Source. You will watch a video presentation from the YouTube. You will understand the process of the video presentation. Let's watch this.
Paul Hopfensberger is attempting to swim 21 miles across the English Channel. Surprisingly, his training involved gaining 16 pounds of fat. His fat cells have grown, weighing Paul down in the arms, chest, and belly. It's more athletic than it sounds. This is what our early ancestors probably looked like. For them, fat was a vital way of storing energy. As he heads out into the frigid water, the key to his success will be how Paul manages his body's fuel reserves. To start with, carbohydrates from Paul's last meal, stored in the liver and muscles, are quickly converted to glucose, then combined with oxygen to power him forward. Paul's muscles are now burning 3,000 calories an hour. It's what you'd get from 3 large hamburgers. But after 3 miles, the easy access glucose is running out. He's facing a fuel crisis. It's a critical point many other athletes know as the wall. This is the moment that marathon runners dread most.
The average person has about 2 to 3 hours worth of energy. Once that is depleted, then you have what's called hitting the wall, where you just feel this physical fatigue and even this mental anguish, like you're just done. you need to stop.
The brain detects low blood sugar levels, and that makes you feel so bad you want to give up. But if you do keep going, the brain is forced to trigger a new source of fuel. To get it, the body does something truly astonishing. It begins to cannibalize itself and starts feeding off its own fat. Surprisingly, we never gain or lose fat cells. The same ones just shrink or swell according to how much fat we're carrying. When glucose runs low, we tap those fat cells as sources of reserve energy. But fat takes longer to process than carbohydrates. It's the gap in supplies that trips up the runners. Just like the runners, he must also switch fuel supplies and start consuming his own fat. Paul's extra layers have added 60,000 calories to his fuel tank. It's 10 times the energy of the glucose his liver and muscles contained when he dived in. But the process of converting his fat into fuel calls for extra oxygen, ramping up the demand on the lungs. He's now sucking in 48 gallons of air a minute, absorbed through tubes narrower than a human hair and across tiny membranes, with a total surface area equal to a baseball diamond. It gives him the strength to cover 12 miles in the first 6 hours. But that's only halfway. He'll need to keep pumping fuel to his muscles until almost nightfall to succeed. The fact is, we all have bodies engineered like Paul's. It's just that his has been tuned up through practice. The focus of that training has been to raise the performance of his heart. Paul has lost over 14 pounds of his body fat during this swim. He's used more calories than most of us use in a week. Yet we're all designed to store and expend huge amounts of energy at this rate. Despite his fatigue, he keeps his heart and muscles going for the final push. After 14 exhausting hours, Paul's foot touches sand. He's made it.
After watching that video presentation, you will answer the following guide questions. Number 1, what do you feel after watching video presentation?
I feel amazed because in that video I realized that energy is very useful, especially in terms of activities of being an athlete.
Very good. Number 2, what is the relation of that video to our topic?
It gives us our understanding about energy.
Excellent. What do you think is our topic for today?
I think the topic will be about the sources of energy.
Great job! Our topic for today is all about sources of energy. Let's have first read the learning objectives. Letter A, discuss the sources of energy. Letter B, differentiate the types of sources of energy. And letter C, cite and examples of the sources of energy. Let's define first what is ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. It is a higher energy compounds or batteries that store energy in our body. So when we say ATP, it serves as a molecular energy that serves as storage bags of our energy that we intake, or the energy that came from the food. Next, let's define what is CP. CP stands for creatine phosphate. It is an energy that's stored in small amounts within cells. So CP called as the small amount or the small storage of energy that can be found in our cells. You might wondering why I include ATP and CP to our discussion since our topic is all about sources of energy. Why is that so? It's because the ATP and CP serves as a big role in the source of energy. Because without without CP and ATP, we cannot have the sources of energy. Because if we have the source of energy, then therefore we need a storage box that could supply energy throughout our body. So now, let's proceed to the types of sources of energy. We have three types of sources of energy. First, the carbohydrates. Second, the fat. Third, we have the protein. Let's start first the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provide a highly efficient source of fuel. Carbohydrate is considered the body's most efficient fuel source. So all among the types of source of energy, carbohydrate serves as the highly efficient source of fuel. Why? Because it came from starches, sugar, and glucose that was converted into energy that supplies energy when we are lacking of energy or we lack of oxygen. Next, carbohydrate is increasingly vital during high intensity exercise when the body cannot process enough oxygen to meet its needs. As you can observe, when we do excessive training or exercises, we lack of oxygen, but we can still perform. It's because the carbohydrates serve as our energy. So it replaces our oxygen, and the carbon dioxide takes place to support or be the source of our energy. Next, let's proceed to fat. It provides a concentrated source of energy. Fat provides more than twice the potential energy that protein and carbohydrate do. So among all sources of energy, fat is what we call the most higher or has a big contribution when it comes to the source of energy, because as you can see or as you can observe, it twice the potential amount of source of energy from protein or carbohydrates. Next, we have fat is also stored within muscle fibers, where it can be more easily accessed during exercise. Body fat is a virtually unlimited source of energy for athletes. So, fat can be found within muscle fibers. Well, it gives us the strength of the construction of our muscle, so therefore we can participate or perform an excessive exercise. Fat also serves as a source of energy if you are an athlete, because as an athlete, you do undergo different trainings and excessive training, so therefore you need fat serves as the source of your energy. Now, let's proceed to protein. It provides energy in late stages of prolonged exercise. It provides energy when daily diet is inadequate in total calories or carbohydrates. So when we say protein, this source of energy is very crucial to those senior citizen, because as you can observe, senior citizen cannot easily engage to different exercises because they lack of energy, but rather they used to drink milk that has a protein in order to perform activities. Aside from that, protein also serves as the source of energy when you are undergoing diet, because if you are in a diet, you are not allowed to eat carbohydrates, even though you eat carbohydrates, but it's just a little amount. You use protein as your energy if you are in a diet. So protein is used to build, maintain, and repair body tissues, as well as to synthesize important enzymes and hormones. So protein is very important in our body because it helps to build or create, repair, and help us to repair our body tissues. Because sometimes the rule of protein is to give us stronger bones and stronger muscle to fight and to perform excessive exercises. Did you understand our discussion?
Yes, sir.
What have you learned about our topic for
I learned
today?
about the sources of energy.
Do you have any questions or clarifications?
None, sir, so far.
I think that you don't have questions or any clarification with our discussion. So I assume that all of you learned about our topic. So let's proceed to our activity. This activity entitled Pick the Source. Direction. Pick your answer to the box below that best corresponds to the following questions. So the box consists of the following choices. We have the adenosine triphosphate, creatine phosphate, fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Okay, class, get a sheet of paper and your ball pen. Listen carefully because I will just read the question twice. Are you ready? Number 1. It provides a high efficient source of fuel. Again, it provides a highly efficient source of fuel. Number 2, it is a high energy compounds or batteries that store energy. Again, it is a high energy compounds or batteries that store energy. Number 3, it provides a concentrated source of energy. Again, it provides a concentrated source of energy. Number 4, provides energy in late of prolonged exercises. Again, provides energy in late stages of prolonged exercise. Number 5, for the last question, an energy that's stored in small amounts within cells. Again, an energy that's stored in small amounts within cells. Okay, papers up. Miss Florentino, please collect the papers and put it on the table. Let's proceed to the next activity. This activity entitled Differentiate the Source. Direction. The class will be divided into 2 groups. Differentiate the source of energy by filling up the table provided below. Copy and answer it to your paper. Choose one representative to present the task to the class. It is called a differentiated task. We have first here is the carbohydrate, fat, and protein. Your presentation will be graded based on the given criteria. Content, 30 points. Teamwork, 10 points. Delivery, 10 points. A total of 20 points. So in this activity, you will be graded based on the given criteria. I will give you 5 minutes for this performance task. 3 minutes for brainstorming and another 2 minutes for your presentation. Do your part and do your best, class, okay?
morning, everyone. So, I am the presenter of Group 1. So, the task is differentiate the three sources of energy, which are carbohydrate, fat, and protein. So, carbohydrate, it produces high source of fuel. So in the absence of oxygen, we can use carbohydrate. Or carbohydrate is very useful. Fat naman produces concentrated source of energy. So more than twice of potential energy among the three, meaning it produces twice of potential energy, unlike the carbohydrate and protein. So fat also the source of energy when we are making exercises or exercise. It is also useful for or good for athletes. So protein provides energy in late stages like senior citizens or elder ones. So it is also useful in persons on diet, and it builds, maintains, and repair body tissues. So that would be all. Thank you.
Okay, class, you want to know your score?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for content, I give you 25. For teamwork, I give you 8. For delivery, I give you 8. So for your performance, your score is total of 41 points.
Yay!
Great job, class! I believe that all of you have learned our discussion for today. For your extension of learning or for your assignment, you will answer the activity entitled an essay. Direction. Think and answer the question critically and comprehensively. Make an essay with 200 words on how the sources of energy being processed and developed. Cite an example that manifests the sources of energy in physical education. Answer your assignment seriously and pass it tomorrow. All of you have learned you don't have any questions or clarification with regards to our discussion. So goodbye, class. Keep safe and God bless.